perfect example of cognitive dissonance in the UPS strike. Still shaking my head. Someone I know works 2 jobs. One of those jobs is at UPS. Part-time. But gets paid very well, basically full-time salary. They're an overnight loader. They didn't take part in the negotiations and openly said they'd cross the picket line. Also made fun of people who might call them a scab for doing so. Today, as we see the agreement the union made, they're bragging about the pay raise they're getting and other benefits. No appreciation for the hard-fought battle their fellow union members made for them. This is what we're up against: absolute cognitive dissonance and brainwashing. Just remind them that they did nothing to help and even stated they would hinder their fellow union members. Very normal. In 1992, US Air went out on strike. I worked in CLT. The scabs came in by school bus with covered windows through our picket line. Dummies parked their personal cars in an locked parking lot. We got pictures of cars and plates. We were out less than 7 days. When we returned, it didn't take long to identify the scabs. We published a list of the identified scabs and posted it on the union's official bulletin board. Set a trial date. None showed up to defend their actions, and found them each guilty of being scabs, and assessed a fine. Only a couple actually paid. Life goes on. But once a scab, always a scab. Those who openly vowed to cross a picket line are scabs forever. In my dad and grandpa's day, if you crossed a picket line when the coal miners were on strike, you could get your head bashed in quickly, and not a soul would have seen a thing. I would say remind them that until the tentative agreement was reached that they were actively trying to undermine the negotiations. But that would assume that this person can understand or feel shame. He has no understanding of what his best interests are, and I am sure they actively vote against them. I'd try to shame them and make them feel like a boss as often as possible. Ask what would his pay be if he had his way. That's how some people are. They are there with the hands out to grab for more but couldn't put their foot down for their fellow man. Never forget the $17 trillion wealth theft over the pandemic. It might seem like cognitive dissonance to someone with empathy, but really this makes perfect sense when you're only looking out for your own self-interest. These folks used to be called blacklegs. It's a union member that doesn't strike. It's the freeloader effect. No risk, all reward. I see some of the comments are suggesting that you should shame this person. That might make you feel good, superior, for a little while. If your goal is for short-term self-gratification, then go that route. If you want to change their mind, try a different tactic. Get them to connect policies, issues that they already support to union efforts. Have articles on hand, printed out and ready to be handed to them, about union victories going all the way back to the 1930s. What are your thoughts on overtime after 40 hours of work in a week? Show them how union members fought and died for that. What are your thoughts on child labor? Show them how 6-year-olds used to work in coal mines until union members fought and died to change those laws. Works best if you ask about policies, issues you already know they support. Then show them this graph. And then show them how Ronald Reagan worked to pass laws to weaken union protections. https u2.be/L7divcode4 https www.npr.org/transcripts/788002965 https://www.fool.com/investing/general/2013/08/the day Ronald Reagan weakened American labor.aspx https truthout.org/articles/Ronald Reagan enemy of the American worker / I remind people of the children's story, The Little Red Hen, or, in your friend's case, tell them the story since it sounds like they might not have been read to as a child. The story is about the few doing all the work while the many sit idly by. Depending on your version, the hen shares, or doesn't share, with the other animals. Scabs are the worst. They want to reap the rewards without any of the risk, effort. Fuck scabs. Why would you sacrifice when you reap the rewards anyway?
Exactly.
I used to do overnight. What you are seeing is a tactic called divide and conquer in action. If you take away people's willingness to unite and stand together, they become very easy to control. The guy you are talking about obviously has no feelings of community or obligation towards his fellow employees. Even before I was in a union, I would not cross a picket line. I once had a delivery for a place that was on strike. Kept it on the truck and marked it as refused. Question: does your friend live in a right-to-work state where you can get the benefits of the union while not being forced to pay union dues? I bet the Saab doesn't pay his union dues. He's a leech. Nothing but scum. My friend lives in KS and is a shop steward. 25% of his members don't pay their dues. Right to work is really right to leech. Getting something you didn't pay for. At my current shop, there are old film reels of guys flipping cars whenever someone tried to cross the picket line. This was in the 50s. None of the older guys think any younger guys will stand with the union in the event of a strike. We never had to strike, and the contract was resolved during the last negotiation. Most of us who were hired after a certain date are treated very differently by our senior staff members. The old-timers kept telling us to fight for the steelworkers' pension, which was never on the table for anyone who was a new hire. Then we were shamed for everything and told, again, that us new guys don't support the union. We would cross a picket line, and we don't care about a pension which we're never eligible for. They want solidarity when it benefits them, but not so much for those with less seniority.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Everquest is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.